She said, was it those three? And I said, yes. And she said, they were empty boxes. They gave them away.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. So
it's a sad day in the retro gaming community.
Yes.
What is going on, everyone? Levi and I went to an estate sale this morning. We've been to estate sales before, but we've never gotten there before they opened, and we weren't sure what to expect. So it started at 10. We got there at 8:30.
All right, we're here at the front door, and they don't open till 10. But we're sitting here waiting. Sort of guard at the front door. But y'all see some of the footage that we were standing out there.
There was already people there.
Yeah, there was 2 older guys with Lowe's buckets.
They were ready.
They were ready to take anybody out who wanted to get their stuff.
Yes.
Now, they were there before we were, so when we pulled up, they immediately hopped out of their car to make sure they got to the entrance. And then there was another person showed up, and there wasn't a lot of people for a while. And then the closer you got to probably about 9:30 or so, there was people lined up sidewalk, and we were at the front. At the front door, there was 3 entrances. One was a garage off to the side. Then there was a garage that was led to the house, and then there was the front door.
Yep.
We were at the front of the front door, and we had figured out through the pictures we saw online.
Did a little investigative research on the whole situation.
Dad, there's more stuff. Yes, we did. Daddy ended up figuring out where the location was in the house.
Based on the pictures and the windows. And,
like looking at objects through the windows to try to figure out where it is.
So there's some strategy to this, guys. There is definitely some strategy to estate sales.
If you're gonna beat all the rest of the competition, you gotta do a lot more work than you used to. Because now there's so many people trying to do it, you have to try to do everything
so
you can.
much competition there today.
Alright, so y'all, we had a plan. We knew exactly which room we were going to, and
we strategized
this. Okay, so I knew sort of what I need to pick up, and Daddy knew what he sort of needed to pick up. And we'll show y'all a picture, just a reminder of what the stuff we were getting for. That's where I'll just add it in later.
Yes.
So that's the stuff we were going to get.
Everything that we wanted was luckily all on the same table.
Same table,
so
same
all we
room.
had to do, the goal was to find the room where these items were located, and everything was on one table.
Mm-hmm. So we knew we had a lot of competition because you had that garage, and there was a lot of people at that garage, and this is before a swarm of people started coming. So we had a lot of people, but we were at the front of the front door.
Yep.
So as soon as they started to open the door, they started letting us in. We took off in a nice way towards that room, and as we're walking by the stairs going up to the upstairs from the garage, you could hear people coming up. People
Those footsteps, they were running up the stairs.
People were trying, they knew what we were after because I'm wearing this Donkey Kong shirt.
Yes.
And so they could see, I started zipping this up, but you could still see his head. So it looked like that, and it was just, so you could know, they knew while we were there, and we run through there and we get the stuff and we start grabbing. I grabbed the Donkey Kong arcade machine and some of them games that's there, and the NES Advantage and the NES was super overpriced, so we didn't pick those up.
Yep.
They wanted $125 for the NES and then $100 for the NES Advantage. That's way too much, so we didn't pick those up. But then Daddy got the board. He picked up the board game that we were after, and another one. What was it called?
I think it's Broadsides.
Oh, it's the one back here. Yeah, it is Broadsides. So
Yes.
it's this one. Oh, y'all can't see it, but yeah. So we picked up this Broadsides, and the other one he was gonna get has some molds, so we put that back.
Yep.
We got all that stuff, but the boxed Super Nintendo games.
We didn't even realize they were missing to begin with.
Yeah, they're not.
We were so excited that we were the first ones. We started grabbing. Levi's hands were full. My hands were full. We're looking around, and then I said, "Oh crap! Levi, where are the Super Nintendo games?
And we started thinking like someone had to be, but nobody beat us there because it's a room that's at the dead end of the house.
We were the first
No
ones.
one could have possibly got to them before we did because we were the first ones in the room by a few seconds. So, and everybody starts coming in and they see what we got, so they know we've picked up what it is. And but people started asking about Super Nintendo games, and they said
thought
those were
we
gone.
grabbed them. They thought, well, somebody grabbed them before us, but I was like, no, we were the first ones in line.
Mm-hmm.
But you could tell, which you'll see in the photos, the stuff had been rearranged and had prices on it now because the NES and the NES Advantage didn't have prices to begin with on the state website.
Mm-hmm.
But now they did, so you could tell someone had been moving that stuff around. So our first thought is someone picked these up and moved them somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
But we also thought, I thought two things. They either moved them somewhere else or they let somebody in early to sell these items to them before the sale started.
Yeah, because we were there an hour and 30 minutes before they started.
Yes.
So that seemed like that wasn't a possibility. So we
now,
started.
I'm not saying today, like this morning. I'm saying they might have sold them like earlier in the week, or if somebody
that's
came
true.
by or something.
Or sold on
know.
Wednesday because they did give the address Wednesday, which
if somebody
we
went
did this.
by, yep.
We did this on Thursday, just so y'all know. It was on a Thursday. I start going, looking around. This is where I'm going to show y'all footage of. I had the phone in my coat pocket, and I was just, it's up and down footage. I was going through the basement, going through everything. I was looking around, and anytime I saw boxes or anything that looked like
You recorded
stuff,
it when you were doing that?
Yeah,
Awesome.
it's 16 minutes. I'm going to have to short it down so y'all can see it. Y'all probably seeing it right now as I'm talking.
I want to see some of that.
I'm just sort of running around, but also taking my time to look to see if there's any place they moved on. I was looking at areas that had DVDs or VHS or CDs or anything with boxes, and we're not seeing it. So I go back to the room, and Daddy's still in there. And I mean, as I was walking through the basement and all the other areas of the house, people saw that I was carrying the Donkey Kong arcade machine, and I'll get it out real quick so y'all can see it. It's got a lot of rust, whatever. Right here, it's gonna need a lot of cleaning, but they can see this. I'm carrying this through the house. So people were looking, and some people asked where I found it, and I was like, upstairs, because we picked up everything we needed, but a lot of people were there for not just this, but like those Super Nintendo boxes and all that stuff. So we're trying to figure out where they are. Well, are you gonna tell them, Danny? You gonna tell them what happened?
So I walked through, got out of the chaos of that one room because there was so many people in there, and that's where like all the toys, video games, board games and stuff were in that bedroom. So I went to the living room, and I had more space, and I opened up. That's when I started opening up the board games and stuff, and then seeing which ones I wanted to keep. And then I decided to put the one back because I saw a little bit of mold in there. Well, then I found one of the workers for the estate sale, and I asked her, I says, hey, I've got a question. So I pulled up the picture online and showed her. I says, we were the first ones in that room, and we could not find these items. Do you know if they misplaced them and moved them somewhere else? She says, I will go find out for you. And then we kept looking and searching and doing some stuff and looking at other stuff. And then she found me. She says, are you the one that asked about this? I said, yes, ma'am. She said, and I hope y'all are sitting down for this.
Yeah, sit down, people.
Sit down if you're not sitting down already. I said, yes, I'm the one that asked about the Super Nintendo games. She said, they were only boxes, so they threw them away.
Was it you that asked me about the She said, was it those three? And I said, yes. And she said, they were empty boxes. They threw them away.
I wanted those. I'll take the
wanted
empty
the
I
boxes.
think that it's already, it shouldn't, right?
Where's the trash at?
We will take them out of
Oh,
the
well,
trash.
it was in a, it's gone. Because we have a trailer pulled up there. I'm so sorry. We'll know next week.
Rest in peace.
Wow, I was floored. Guys, my heart sunk. I said, you've got to be kidding me. I said, where's the trash? Where's the trash at?
We asked for the trash.
We asked for the trash. I was like, I'll take just the boxes. I'll take just the boxes. I says, We specifically came for those boxes.
They look so good in the pictures. Like any collector would have wanted them. We would rather just give them away than give them
in the
away.
photos. They were pristine. They looked brand new condition.
Collector's dream.
Collector's edition. ActRaiser, SimCity, and John Madden Football. Pristine. They threw them away. So I said, we'll buy them. I said, we will buy them out of the trash. The lady says, go downstairs and ask the lady who's taking up the money and ask her. And so I went downstairs. We got our stuff ready to pay. And I said, hey, I've got a question. I'm the one that asked about this. She said, and that lady told us, I tried to get them to keep them, but they threw them away. I said, what? And I says, where's the trash? She says, it was a big dumpster and they've already taken it off.
She said she tried.
She tried to get them to keep them because she said someone might want the boxes. And the lady who was, I guess, over it or doing stuff, I don't know, decided nobody's going to want these, and then they threw them out.
But I do have a conspiracy theory out there that maybe she kept them because...
That's what Levi thinks.
It just seems a little odd because in all that stuff, there's a stack of manuals you can probably see in the photo, and that stack of manuals is water damaged and stuck together.
I picked it up and actually grabbed it to begin with. I'm thinking, oh, this is terrible, but I'm just going to hold it till I decide what I'm going to do with it. The stack of manuals, there's little booklets and stuff, manuals, advertisements, and different things. Probably about 8 to 10 different manuals and paper inserts. They were all stuck together. I couldn't even pry them apart. It was going to rip every one of them just for me pulling them apart. I ended up sticking it back on the table. They didn't throw that away, but they threw away the pristine Super Nintendo boxes.
It didn't make any sense. It does not. So that's why I think she might have kept them. But there's just no telling.
I don't think they actually knew anything about them. And I feel that they really threw them away. Levi feels otherwise.
I guess I'm saying that because I don't want them to be thrown away.
What do you think? Leave us a comment below. Let us know what do you think. Did someone take them for themselves, or did they throw them away into the cardboard landfill forever?
Yeah, it's sad because you just, as collectors, to find stuff in that condition. I mean, at this point, it's not really about selling it. It's just like you want someone to have it.
You want to preserve it. Now no one will have a chance, whether it be us or us trading it to someone or us selling it to someone. Now no one has a chance for those boxes. Those boxes are gone forever.
Gone. So one less box for those games are in existence now. Yeah, it's pretty sad. So
it's a sad day in the retro gaming community.
Yes. Thank y'all for watching this video, and if you want to see more Dirt Road Games content, hit that subscribe button and also check out some of our other videos. Thank y'all.
I'm gonna redo this part right here.
Okay.
Leave us a comment below, guys. Let us know. Do y'all think that the lady manipulated the system and took them home with her and kept them for herself? Or do you think, like, that's what Levi thinks? I didn't want to say it like that. Let me redo it again. Let us know in the comments below, guys. Do y'all side with Levi? Do y'all think the lady manipulated the system and kept them for herself?
Yep.
Or are you siding with me and you think they actually did throw them away because they don't have a clue what video games are about?
Yep.
Let us know.